Les employés de course Mammouth qui ici peuvent vivre un grand moment ensemble avec notre CEO, bien entendu, et qui présente ici une Philippe Réport.
Et bien, il Philippe repose ce ciseau dans la main et pour parer, pour couper ruban. Allez, nous commençons à compter le 12, tout le monde ici, 30.
On y va sous bâchelet, tout le monde qui présente.
Allez,
ici.
tout ce qui est ici, nous commençons 30.
C'est parti. 30.
29. 28. 27.
26, 27,
24.
23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Voilà,
La grande ouverture, bien entendu, de course Mammouth ici à Belleville.
c'est l'effervescence, ça y est, c'est ouvert, c'est à vous maintenant, donc le magasin, donc on va découvrir
Voilà.
ce qu'il y a à l'intérieur. Alors, vous rentrez dans le magasin, d'ailleurs, tout à l'heure, n'oubliez pas, à 17h, rendez-vous à Pélig.
Qu'il ait fait ça faire ou 30 ans pour la prix. Le met du monde là.
Du monde, c'était ça, mais tout dans du monde là. On laisse tout ça du monde là. Il y a du monde bien, bien rare pour du monde bien. Parce que moi, c'est trop longtemps pour me lever. Étant donné que beaucoup de monde là, beaucoup de pour là aussi. Mais moi, seulement un seul était mon pouvoir. C'est dimanche à mon chambre, mon bagage, bien content,
Bien content, retour aussi.
bien sûr.
Content, c'est David Alzac.
Bien sûr, mon content, ça m'a dit bien, c'est hier, c'est grâce à M. David Isaac qui a dit tout le monde est dans la télévision dans la case. C'est grâce à lui.
100% mauricien. Depuis quelle heure là-bas?
Moi, je viens 2h du matin, mais j'ai fait mon éveil, en même temps, ils m'ont sauvé, il y a maintenant.
2h30.
Fais une bonne comme ça pour rentrer en premier.
Une bonne pour guetter la situation.
Tu fait planning pour venir.
Combien de monde misère, combien de monde ici, ça aussi un gain d'esprit, une idée.
Okay, well, encore un grand merci pour votre présence ici ce matin. Je vais juste introduce the team. Actually, there's 4, but we're 3 at the moment. On my right is Bruce Cohen, who was the former owner of Courts PLC for very many years. On my left is Ashok Sona, and missing is my dearest colleague Eshan Fakim, who many of you know, with whom we worked together for more than 25 years. So he's not able to be with us this morning. But effectively we are a team of 4 directors and shareholders. So je pense que je dois commencer et dire un énorme merci à Dinesh and Dora et toute l'équipe, and also to the management, the Courts Mammouth, and of course the staff for everything that they have done to make today's event what it is. Comme je dis avant ce matin à NBC and Radio Plus, j'étais un petit peu choqué, in a nice way, avec la quantité de la public qui était devant la porte. Apparemment, il y a les gens qui étaient là depuis 2 heures du matin. Ça c'est extraordinaire. And it gives a dawn bon emotion that the public and yourselves, the press, would be prepared to come on a Saturday morning to Bell Village. In fact, the length of the queue was longer than in June 1985, when a few of you may not have been born, and if you were born, you were quite young. But we have our archives of that day, the 13th of June 1985, when in fact the queue extended to the pharmacy on the corner there, except that for several days there were queues in 1985, but not quite as long as the queue that we have seen this morning. So my thanks again to you all for being here as témoin, as witness of what I would say is a new beginning. Courts, Mammouth, as I said, has been here for 30 years, but today is really like the start of a new era, which I'm sure will be as happy and as successful as the previous, as the past. And I think I'm most happy for the staff and the management, and also the suppliers, particularly the furniture suppliers, because they were soon to become like the dodo. They were very close to total extinction. And now, with the orders that we have given to the local industry, the wheels are turning, the machines are working, and there are probably at least 2,000 people now who can look forward to Christmas and be able to provide something for their families. And that's not including the staff. I'm talking now about the industry, the furniture industry, manufacturing, the fournisseur and their staff. So, before we have some coffee and tea and sandwiches, before we go, we're going to cut the cake, I believe, downstairs, but we are open to questions. Feel free. I remember Radio Pirate. There was a wonderful skit of I think, Madame Hanumanji in her previous role, and the journalists were in front of her. This is Radio Pirate, this is not the real thing. And the journalists were asking a question, and her response was, "Now that's a very good question. Right, next question." Do any of you remember that? No?
How do you feel when you cut the ribbon some minutes ago?
Thank
you
you.
did the same thing 30 years?
Yes. My son, who's with me today, who's only 14, he asked me in the car this morning if I was nervous. And I said yes. So I then asked myself, but why now am I nervous, having done this so many times before? But yeah, I was nervous and quite emotional. You know, whatever we do in our lives, there's always something new. There's always another challenge, regardless of our age or our experience.
What are you bringing new? Because when Mammouth came,
Yeah.
you nearly introduced higher purchasing.
Yeah, exactement. Wait.
What are you bringing new with?
Okay. What are we bringing new? I think our first expectation, our first challenge is very important, which is to bring back the name, our reputation, and our leadership in the market. Now, you might think, but that's not new. But actually, it will be new, because over the past year, the market share of courts disappeared. I mean, literally, it disappeared, to the point where in August, I think, of this year, there was literally nothing in the showroom. I mean, you could have a disco, you could play football. There was no stock in the showrooms anywhere. And the staff were very demoralized. So I would say that our first preoccupation is to bring ourselves back to the position that we had, say, 3 years ago. And that's a challenge. It's not tomorrow that that's going to happen. That will require hard work. Mauritius is a very competitive country in all sectors. In all sectors, it's very good. In fact, competition is the very best thing that a country can have. Competition within, because if competition is strong within a country, the country is then better able to face the challenges and the competition in the whole world. So, what else is new, to answer your question, will be the product offering. We are in the process of, as I said, restarting with the furniture manufacturers. We are restarting with the electrical suppliers. So there's going to be a lot of new technology, new designs, new product offerings. I think we're probably the first today in our sector to have the scratch cards, the free gifts. Okay, we've done them in the past, but I think from the public's point of view, now that Courts Mammouth is back, they're going to have a better choice. Yes.
Courts Mammouth has a very good reputation over many years, but David and his team and everyone have got some amazing plans for the future, which you will see over coming months. Firstly was to recreate all that was so good about Courts Mammouth. We've got an amazing staff and team throughout the company that have been very loyal, have got an amazing ability at marketing, merchandising, and all sectors. And David and his team have got some very exciting plans for the future to re-establish market leadership and to give the people of Mauritius amazing value they won't get anywhere else. Bigger choice, best value, terrific service with a great staff. Bon accueil à vous tous.
The other thing that I would like, that I personally am very much looking forward to, now that I'm back running the business, is to work again on our social activities. We always were very vibrant in the 1980s, the 1990s, even up until I would say 3 or 4 years ago. We, as a company, we always were very active in CSR, and we will be coming back to you by the end of November. With the help of my colleagues, we've been looking at all the NGOs who are eligible for CSR donations, or just donations, not necessarily through CSR. And the total is huge. I think it's about 200 different associations around Mauritius. So I'm personally looking forward. In life, the more you do for others, particularly those who cannot give back what you're giving to them, the more good that would come to you. So social responsibility has always been a big part of our philosophy, and we are going to bring that back. We always, I would say, going back to the period of from Mammouth through courts, every year in our donations budget and in the marketing budget, we actually gave away between 1 million and 2 million rupees per year to those in need. And I'm very proud that one of the reasons, or one of the objectives of coming back and taking back this company is that we will be able again to be integrated back into the society, particularly at the level of the people who need help most. So we will be enlightening you on that in the weeks and the months to come. Any other questions? Feel free, Don't quote this story about Madame Hanuman. But that was a particular edition of Radio Pirates that sometimes these things stick in your mind for a long time afterwards. And it was so funny how the actor or the actress actually dealt with the questions, or rather did not deal with the questions from the press, and moved on to the next question. But we won't do that this morning. We will answer everything as openly as we can.
Are you going to put better control on sales? Because you have created higher budgets, and l'endettement des ménages aussi, emotions. It's not only you. Are you going to control to say to the purchaser, no, you can't do that, you can buy because it's over your capacity to pay?
Right, okay. The whole issue of credit approval is A, important, and B, it's integral to the part of a success of a company or failure of a company. When we were running courts, overall the level of bad debt was very, very low, and you know, we have all the facts and figures. The audited accounts are there to prove it. We used to try and tailor, I should say, plan or reconcile the ability of the customer to pay to the value of the purchase. So yes, there are occasions when you have to say to a customer, think before you buy, because one easy reason, in any company that does hire purchase, or when a bank gives a loan to a person, if that loan or account is a failure, in other words, if the person cannot pay, not only does the person suffer because they cannot repay, and they may not be given credit again, but the company suffers for obvious reasons. If you lend people money and they cannot repay that money, then it's a loss. It's a loss to the purchaser, and it's a loss to the seller. So yes, courts will always try and act responsibly when it comes to the granting of credit.
I mean, some people will want a lot of purchases. They'll want a television, they'll want a bed, they'll want furniture altogether. Sometimes you have to tell them, start with the television, you choose which you want first, have a smaller order to start with, that goes successfully, that account, then have something else. So it needs to be a bit flexible, which is what always try and do.